This is the MLW Radio Network. This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll be covering wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what is on your mind?
So, anything interesting happen?
Not that I'm aware of.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'd take 1 week off and go on a family trip, and Tony Khan buys AEW and all this. Then the world started.
Yeah,
and just and I feel fine.
Everything is great. There's no issues at all anywhere in the world right now, Meanie.
As the great Michael Stipe would sing, it's the end of the world as I know it, and I feel fine.
I guess I feel okay. I'm not sure how I thought I would feel during like the beginning stages of the end of the world. I thought for sure like I would be dressed like in a suit or something, but I didn't think it was going to be like this,
Yeah. But right off the bat, congratulations to Tony Khan for buying Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It felt like something inevitable was going to happen. People are like, "Oh, what's going to happen with Ring of Honor?" They say they're shutting down. They're doing a temporary shutdown, but people doubted that and don't know all the particulars. But it kind of makes you wonder, how long this was in the works and stuff like that. And I have my hopes and dreams for what they do with Ring of Honor as far as running it as like a separate company, run as, because, I've said this a few times on the air, eventually Tony's going to have hard decisions to make because everybody's excited about, signing new talent. But eventually he can't be like Noah's Ark and keep all this talent. But now that you have another entity, Ring of Honor, you can spread some people out and, start running have somebody run it like another company, separate office, separate dates, and just, maybe not separate office, but, still have people doing travel and stuff like that. But there's a lot of good things you could do with it, and learn from the mistakes of like, when WWE acquired WCW, because people talked about, when they bought WCW, they had like, they were going to try to run WCW events. They had one like scheduled for Trenton, like not too long after that, and everything fell through. But Tony's got a good mind for the business. He's got a good mind in general. He's a brilliant man, and I like to see good things come along for Ring of Honor, and I would love to see Ring of Honor get treated like a pro wrestling company and just not another piece of content for, Sinclair bought it and they just treated it like, oh, this is our in-house content for our syndication. They didn't really take care of it, but it's in good hands with Tony if he decides to, use it as a legit, second brand, second company to, spread talent out, keep people fresh, have some fresh matchups, separate some people, here and there, and just let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity with the branding. I'm curious though. Like I know I've said it too on my Twitter a couple of times. I've been talking to some people about it, and I am cautiously optimistic to see what happens here because,
of course,
because of the WCW thing. I mean, it wasn't really that long ago.
Yeah,
the biggest death nail for WCW was the television deal. Not having television secured, I think, is what really kind of fucked that entire operation from Jump Street. Because I think if there had been an opportunity for Vince to put that on a television station, I think we would be having a much different conversation now.
Yeah.
the Booker T Buff Bagwell match, how much that actually had to do with the downfall of the events with WCW, who knows? You know, I mean, I don't really know the context there, but I'm curious to see what he does with Ring of Honor. I really am. I think if he's able to utilize it in a way that's going to make it feel like its own promotion, its own brand, I think it could definitely be something, but I don't know the logistics of that. You know, is he going to be able to secure? Is he going to make Ring of Honor, you know, the Friday night show instead of Rampage? You know, is that what he's going to do? Is he going to rebrand that? I think there's definitely opportunity for them to utilize their stars. But from what I've seen and some of the talking that's been going on in the Twitter sphere, I don't think any of the current Ring of Honor talent is under contract at all. All of their contracts were up as of December 31st. So the question is, like you said, how much of that talent does he bring back? How much of that talent,
right.
you know, do you keep it as separate worlds, church and state, if you will?
Yeah.
How would you do it? Let's say if I asked Blue Meanie, how would you book the Ring of Honor purchase? What would you do?
I mean, if I had some TK money,
I think we all want some TK money, pal.
Yeah, if I had purchased Ring of Honor, I had my TK money and purchased. I own AEW. I buy Ring of Honor. I own AEW, buy Ring of Honor. As soon as I buy that deal, or right as I'm about to put pen to paper, I say to Sinclair, I'm buying this, but give me, I want to keep, syndication on your networks. There's something good about being on syndicated TV and stuff like that. Now, you can't reach everyone. I have friends who live out in Seattle and said they've never seen a Ring of Honor show because Sinclair doesn't reach out there. But keep some of the syndication just so you have some sort of TV presence to, promote, have shows, promote shows, run shows, all that good stuff. And still, in the meantime, be looking for a bigger platform. There's they're on the Turner Network. You can always, look for, alternatives like ABC, maybe ESPN. Tony's got the Jaguars. He's an NFL owner. I'm sure he's done business with ESPN, which, sister company ABC, do something like that. Or, maybe down the line, there's been rumblings on the internets, about possibly a possible streaming network, like an AEW streaming network. Again, not 100% fact, but, you hear what you hear and you take it with a grain of salt. And if it happens, it happens, But if it doesn't, then, it's just another rumor. But I would, excuse me, I would, secure syndication with Sinclair to hold us over until we get on a bigger platform, and maybe even still keep the syndication and have a secondary show like AEW does with Dynamite. Continue to, run, maybe quarterly pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. I would keep Kerry Silken as the Jack Tunney. He's a vital part of Ring of Honor. He's the reason why Ring of Honor's still in existence. He poured his own money into it. And then he, found Jim Cornette, and Jim Cornette found the Sinclair folks, and that's the reason why there's still a Ring of Honor. Right. So, I'd do that, and I would find, find a new headquarters, because it used to be based out of Philly. Now it's based out of Baltimore. But I don't know if you want to keep another headquarters in Jacksonville. But just find another headquarters somewhere, centrally located, and build up a separate staff, so you're not confused. Yeah, because you don't want to confuse products and stuff like that. You got that's one of the things. When the writers for WWE were writing SmackDown and they're writing Raw, things became a little bit hectic when you have to add another show with SmackDown. Right. Now I can imagine, the AEW staff, they're booking Jaguars stuff.
Right.
You know, they're running Jaguar stuff. They're running AEW stuff. Oh, cool. Now we have to run Ring of Honor stuff. Get another staff in there, another office. Keep things totally separate. And when it comes to the roster, what is wrong with me?
You're good, man.
When it comes to the roster, I would bring back some of the Ring of Honor originals and work in some of the folks who are in AEW. Like you say, you already have this talent under contract. You can spread them out, keep them separate from who you got now. You could have bring in some of the ROH originals that you have under contract, and have that have that continuous lineage. A Daniel Bryan back in Ring of Honor, CM Punk back in Ring of Honor, Christopher Daniels back in Ring of Honor. And have it work that way, but keep it totally separate. Have keep some of the current Ring of Honor talent, announce team, because you still want to have that voice, that sound, to keep it uniquely Ring of Honor, and just have a mix of current and some newer AEW. Mix some of the AEW guys over to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I'm curious, obviously, the business end of it on the back end. I don't know how much of the talent that they'll be able to, or how much of the business end of those folks will come over, right? Because that's a huge bloated budget for financials when it comes to the internal corporate side of that, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right, though. I think with the talent, I think you absolutely need to find a way, and especially because, like you said, AEW is becoming Noah's Ark very quickly.
Yeah.
How do you branch out and brand from there? But I don't disagree with any of that. I think you mentioned it. You alluded to it earlier, though, as far as the streaming stuff. And this is just a question that I have in general about anybody who's going to branch into streaming. Do you think AEW has enough of an audience, enough of a mainstream appeal to create and successfully launch a streaming service?
According to their demos.
The key demos. I need a button on the board for that. Here's your key demo.
Yeah. I have that term muted on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of it. According to Meltzer, yeah. Hold on. You good old Walmart fart.
That's right. Fucking Meltzer, man. Jesus.
You would think, it'd be a no-brainer because, so many people watch Ring of Honor. Meanwhile, somebody asked Bischoff last night, Inside Baseball, we're recording on a Saturday, and last night somebody said, what AEW, what the rating was, and he's like, oh, well, in your day, did you ever break this many? And he's like, well, in 98, and it was like some astronomical number, Not disparaging AEW, I'm just saying that's what the state of the business is right now, during the Monday Night Wars, they're pouring 8.0s, 9.0s, 7.0s, not 0.8, whatever. But you asked if a company could launch a viable thing. They could, and have it, stay afloat with the diehard wrestling fans. I mean, New Japan has New Japan World,
right?
And that's available in America, and they don't really have a TV presence over here. So that's just, floated by the hardcore wrestling fans, the diehards. You can have a successful streaming thing, but you also need to have that avenue to get Mr. and Mrs. Walmart, so to speak, the casual fan, because the diehards will always be there. It's when you're getting those casual, oh, what's happening over here, and they come and stay for a little while and watch. That's when you're starting to make money,
right?
And stuff like that. So you need that with they have that. Well, they have that with TNT, TBS. I'm sure they can use those avenues to promote a streaming service, maybe show when they go to commercial, live picture-in-picture, put all those picture-in-picture episodes up without the commercials.
Yeah.
So people go see what they were missing. Stuff like that. Put up the pay-per-views. Maybe have their darken elevation strictly for the streaming service. Or
right,
whatever.
take it off of YouTube and put it on streaming.
Yeah. Kind of like what NWA did with their YouTube and put it on Fight.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
So there's things you could do to help, and it would also be another great avenue stream to have, if you give them that exclusive content,
Make it worth their
and that's
while,
where you could,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you could probably, have your Ring of Honor events too, exclusive content, until you get, if you can't get if you could get the Sinclair deal, and then have stuff on, a possible streaming network, to drive extra eyeballs there, for people, for the diehards who want to see Ring of Honor, and that's another thing with Ring of Honor. Don't try to do those 2-for-1 Ring of Honor AEW tapings in the same building. Just totally something. Yeah.
Again, that was the issue with WCW. Don't do WCW programming on fucking WWE.
And that was the issue with WWECW, because you could tell they were just in a WWE ring.
Right.
If they had done like a separate taping somewhere else, kind of like what they did with NXT, in a smaller venue, more intimate, and then when you run your house shows, run like the Tower Theater, all these cool little other buildings that really don't have wrestling.
Well, also too, you're trying to keep it unique to the brand that ECW built. But I don't know if you were the ECW guy, right? I'm not.
Yeah.
But I don't know as a fan, once that purchase and acquisition happened, I don't know if you would ever be able to like recapture the energy, the feel, the like, what's the word I'm looking for? The authenticity maybe of an ECW event, right? Because you guys had your own fucking world. You guys had an entire world, an infrastructure built in and of yourselves. Now that it's part of, Big Bad Vince's corporation, I don't know if that feel would have still been there no matter what happened. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's just they went from raging against the machine to joining the machine, even though publicly no one really knew that Vince was sending ECW a check.
Right.
That didn't come out until the company was done, but I could draw that conclusion, because WWE. Draws was in our locker room. Furnace LaFon was in our locker room. Candido was going up to the warehouse and getting the old WWF flag for Rob Van Dam to use for his Mr. Monday Nights. And, how's Rob working, both, Monday Night Raw and our weekend shows. So.
Right. How is this happening? It's a hostile takeover. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But if there was somehow, some way, people could have just kept their mouth shut, start a dummy corporation to buy ECW on the down low, and don't even announce it. We're under new ownership. Just
keep it moving.
Have a quiet transition of power to where it doesn't ruin the perception of ECW.
Right.
But people love to be in the know and look smart by breaking kayfabe and telling the inner workings of something. Telling how the magic trick's done.
How the sausage is made.
Yeah. If you could have started up a dummy corporation, pour a little bit of money in it, silent investors.
Yep.
And do a transition from Heyman to this new company. Keep Heyman on board. He doesn't, and then you have Paul Heyman, who only has to worry about the creative. He doesn't have to worry about paying the boys. Take that stress off his shoulders. Let him get some sleep.
Now, how often did Paul sleep? Because there's a question for you. What was Paul's schedule like during that time?
He was like Dracula, man. He considered the overnight hours the creative hours, which a lot of creative people do. I was talking to a buddy the other day who writes, and he's like, yeah, I do a lot of my writing at night. Just while the world's asleep and I have no distractions and I can't be bothered, you know?
Yeah.
I have people, ringing my phone. I can have some peace, quiet, and just do some of my writing. So, Paul kept those overnight hours like Dracula or like a vampire. So, and he probably didn't go to bed till like 10 a.m. and he probably got a 4-hour power nap and just got up and...
Jeez. Man.
Because, just look at Paul when he did that promo on TNN. He just looked tired.
Yeah.
He looked really tired.
The real famous one. Are we done yet? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Or fire me or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I threaten you. I dare you to take me off the air.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
You will threaten me.
Yeah. And you're going to give Vince that money like he needs that money. You're going to give Vince McMahon $125 million like he needs that money.
It's so good. Like, he's put him in the Hall of Fame 6 times, 7 times. I don't care. Paul, there is no one who does promo work like Paul Heyman. Like,
he's a great teacher too.
There's no one. It's not just about the words he's saying. It's about the inflection. It's about which words he emphasizes. It's about the importance of, you can't teach that kind of shit, man. You just can't. You can try, but there has to be a certain level of ability that comes with that. And he has it all over. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. If you look at, Heyman with Brock and then Heyman with Roman, they're almost two separate Pauls,
Yeah.
I used to joke, man, find somebody who looks at you the way Paul looks at fucking Roman Reigns. He's staring at him all the way down the ramp kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he has different ways of, but that's just Paul just being creative and making things unique and stuff like that. And the best thing about working for Paul would be like he would explain for you what he wanted you to do. And he would just dive into your character and do your character to you. And so you get an idea of what to do. And, he definitely needs to be in a Hall of Fame because he's done everything.
Yeah.
They say the best ability is availability. And he was always available, whether it was starting out as a teenager as a photographer. Then he started doing play-by-play for this local indie promotion here in the Northeast New Jersey, New York area called NWF. And then he was friends with Bam Bam Bigelow, who was starting out at the Monster Factory. Oh, and Paul ran a show at Studio 54.
No
that
shit.
That was the first show. Yeah. If you watch some of those early CW shows, we used the ring that I wasn't in the company then, but they used the Studio 54 ring because you see the 54 in each corner.
Oh,
Studio
no
54.
shit.
So he ran Studio 54, and then, he's doing play-by-play, and then, he's friends with Bam Bam Bigelow, and Bam Bam Bigelow dares him to become a manager. He's like, I dare you, you ain't got no balls, come down to Memphis, be a manager. So on a dare from Bam Bam Bigelow, Paul Heyman moves to Memphis, becomes a manager.
Wow.
And stuff like that, and then becomes friends with Eddie Gilbert, and that leads him going to Continental and help Eddie book Continental, which leads to ECW.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Now, I think he was running ECW when he was 28, maybe 29.
Jesus, man.
Just think about that.
That is,
and he's still on TV all these years later. He started out in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, shooting at Madison Square Garden. And this Saturday, he's going to be working Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tonight as we record this.
Tonight as we record.
Talk about
Yeah.
Talk about a fucking career, man.
Man. I was just reflecting on something you said a minute ago about people on the inside, quote unquote. And Dave Meltzer is currently having a meltdown on Twitter about how WWE lied about Vince McMahon wrestling at WrestleMania this year against Pat McAfee. Do you want to know do you know what the best part about that is, though, Blue Meanie? Let me just before you respond. No one ever fucking said that Vince McMahon was wrestling at WrestleMania this year against Pat McAfee. Do you know who said that? The dirt sheets. Nobody fucking confirmed that. Nobody fucking said a word about Vince McMahon wrestling. Not once. Nobody. Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So what do you think about this?
So Dave Meltzer is mad that, Vince McMahon isn't wrestling Pat McAfee, even like I said, even though it was never booked to be that way.
Right.
So
yeah.
Where's the lie? It'd be one thing if they came out and said this match is happening, and then bait and switch, and then it didn't happen. But it was probably never booked to happen anyway. So
and they never it was never announced. It was this fucking hurricane storm of people talking on Twitter about Vince McMahon wrestling, and nobody ever said, "Oy, how is this?" I don't understand how anyone listens to this man. I just, and then the whole thing you were saying about Eric Bischoff was he was talking about AEW pulling in the 1 million mark on a house show. He was talking about ticket sales for double or nothing on one day. And somebody tweets at Eric oh, did you ever do this? And Eric is like, yeah, 98, we sold 906,000, but adjusted to 2022 numbers, it's $1.5 million. So you're being purposefully misleading about this statement. The fact that you don't count WCW in this is because you got a fucking hard on against Eric Bischoff. I don't know.
Dave's made a lot of money on being anti WWE.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to bash him. He's a great historian.
Sure.
He can tell you about things that's already happened, but when it comes to predicting what's going to happen, dude, I have another beef is the awards. People fawning over the awards and Hall of Fame and stuff like that. The Observer Hall of Fame. And I don't know why this fucking chat my ass, but he has an award, worst promotional tactic. And number one was WWE firing folks during a pandemic. I'm like, how is that a promotional tactic? That's not like Snickers presents us firing everybody. It's just like a promotional tactic is something to promote a show. Maybe a bait and okay, we're going to have so-and-so at the show, and you pull the people in, and it's just a parody of that person. Or, there's a famous promoter back in the 50s and 60s named Jack Pfeffer, who would purposely run shows with names similar to known wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like Designer Imposters. He would have Bummy Rogers or Bluto San Martino. Just
Jesus,
where people just read it real quick and they think they're going to go see. That's a bad promotional tactic.
Yeah.
Firing people is just a business decision. It's not, you're not promoting it. Other than, you kind of have to announce it because you have, shareholders, because you're a publicly traded company. You have to make these announcements now.
Right.
So I don't get it. I used to actually vote for the Hall of Fame. I had to stop sending in my ballot. So they stopped sending it to me.
I mean, look, I know.
I'm like, what am I voting for?
I have my feelings about both of those guys, about Meltzer and Alvarez, and I'm not going to use this platform to do that. But I got so frustrated for a second where it was just like, why? No one.
I don't hate these people, by the way. I have to say, I don't hate these people. I'm just perplexed.
I've never met them. I don't know them. I don't know any of them. But I think their propensity to amplify bullshit is uncomfortable at best. And it's me, it's like, I just want to enjoy what I want to enjoy. Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to make everything such a weird thing for it? You know what I mean? I want to enjoy the wrestling. I want to enjoy what I'm watching. I'm not going to like everything, but just because I like WWE doesn't make me this shill of, I don't know. That's just that it's the tribalism that comes with all that really, it makes me very uncomfortable.
Well, they've kind of painted themselves in the corner where, you go from doing news once a week to now you have, a website where you have to do content. You do Wrestler Observer Radio, where you got to do online, radio content. I like Brian Alvarez. I don't hate him or I don't hate Dave. I just get frustrated. I like Alvarez because me and him are both fans of Art Bell. You know, he's a big Art Bell fan like I am, you know. And I think he's got like one of the best voices for radio for some reason. It's just, I want to just send him random things to read and just chuckle, you know, like, I'm not going to pay a lot for that. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler, pal. Kind of, you know, stuff, you know, he's got that voice where I just want to send him random things to read just to pop myself, you know. He's a good dude, you know, but he's in the business where he's got to have content. He's got to have news. And sometimes I don't know where he gets his news.
Right.
I don't know if it's a game of, you know, people playing telephone where they hear something and by the time they get to Alvarez, it's or Meltzer, that it's totally changed by the time, you know, person to person to person to person, you know.
They've purple monkey dishwashered themselves into a shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. And how, you know, who's giving, you know, what's the agenda of the person giving them such said news, you know?
Right.
You know, it just, I've read things about me that weren't fucking true.
How do you know? Like, what do you do in that situation though? Like when you read, it's like, oh, Blue Meanie's going to be, you know, wrestling Diamond Dallas Page for the WC. You know, he's in the contention to be in the NWO and defect. Like, what do you do at that point?
It's just, sell it, you know, and just, you know, the truth.
Right.
And why waste your time? Here's the thing. And, you know, this is why I loved the Vince McMahon, Pat McAfee interview. Because Vince kind of said the thing I always believed. If you're focusing on the negative, it's a double negative. You know, I've always been a proponent of no selling it, because if you spend your time selling for something that isn't true, you're putting something out into the universe that maybe some people didn't even know about in the first place. Now those people are going to go check something out that you probably didn't want them to check out.
Right.
So when you could have just been putting out something, doing something totally different, you know, the Blue Meanie kicks puppies. And then I go out and go, just for the record, I don't kick puppies. Well, who said you kicked puppies? Oh, that guy. Who's that guy? Oh, and there you go, start reading that guy's newsletter. So you just unintentionally gave him business.
Free advertising, yeah.
Where if I just came on here and just didn't even acknowledge it, it would just die. You know, you don't give it oxygen. You know,
right?
I see that with people who've made mistakes in their lives, and they go out, they give official statements that nobody gives a shit about. You know, and you've drawn attention to something stupid you did.
Yeah.
And
it makes it worse.
Maybe 3 people knew.
Mm-hmm.
People be like, what? You did what with this? With a garbage disposal? What did you do? You know, just.
See, now I want to ask what's the weirdest thing you've ever read about yourself that wasn't true, but I don't even want to give it oxygen. You know, like I don't even want to ask.
Yeah. Well, I've had people come up to me and go, man, I heard you were dead.
Oh, right. There was that whole thing about you. Yeah.
No, that doesn't. There's like every 5 years somebody comes up to me, man, I thought you were dead. And first of all, why would you even say? What puts that thought in your head to say that's okay to say to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously I'm standing in front of you, breathing, standing, talking, farting. All you have to do is say to yourself, oh, well, I guess that person who gave me that information was wrong.
Right.
There's the Blue Meanie right there in front of me. But no, I'm going to go up to the Blue Meanie and tell him, man, I thought you were dead. And Blue Meanie's going to be totally cool about that, and that's not going to ruin his day.
Yeah.
You know?
And no sell it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, just no sell it and just never talk to that person again.
Jesus, man. So, Meanie, let me just cut in here real fast, and I want to know, can I get a round of applause from everyone real fast? I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their ultra premium collection. Believe it or not, Meanie. Believe it or not. It's deodorants for your not-so-private parts. I'm talking about a leveled-up hygiene routine for your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man that covers you from head to toe. Literally. This is Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com right now for 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MINDMeanie. I can tell you, Manscaped has helped my grooming game and has also helped me in the bedroom, making Little John and the East Side Boys look fantastic. You want to make sure everything looks good down there. You don't want any of your stray hairs now that spring is upon us. We're going to be having issues with those short curlies again, and we don't want to have to do that. Daylight savings, more like daylight shavings, Meanie.
Yeah, that's
How
right,
has Manscaped helped you with your nether regions?
Hey, man, they've been doing a wonderful thing in the land down under, as men at work would say. But they also make me look and smell good with the ear and nose trimmer, with the Bath and Body the body wash, the shampoo, 2-in-1 conditioner. I'm a big fan of the foot spray. I talk about each and every time, and people are probably tired of hearing about my feet. But after a long day of walking and counting my steps on my Fitbit, my dogs are tired. So I'd like to take a nice hot shower with the body wash, shampoo my hair, spray my feet, lay in bed, and I feel like $1,000,000.
That is exactly what we need you to feel like, Meanie. We all know that how essential the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is for that precise trim below the waist. Their advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts to your most delicate areas, but now you can enhance your perfect grooming routine with their ultra-premium collection. It comes with their Manscaped Premium Deodorant. It's not for your balls. It's for your stinky, stanky armpits. The deodorant dries clear. It's aluminum-free, and it smells like their signature scent. Also comes with a hydrating body moisturizer. If you have any tattoos or issues with dry skin, like I have both, it's designed to keep your skin feeling clean, smooth, and smelling fresh. It also comes with the body wash, which is infused with aloe vera and sea salt, and the shower gel, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner to clean your scalp, plus a free gift, a 3-pack set of lip balm that's made with ingredients like vitamin E, peppermint, and eucalyptus oil to keep those chappers feeling moist. That's 4 products plus a gift inside the Ultra Premium Collection. It's a fantastic deal. All of these products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, vegan-friendly, and dye-free. The best ingredients with zero compromise. Getting dressed afterwards is optional, though, which, as we know in the Barnard bedroom, is what happens all the time. Hopefully it happens in the Meanie room as well. Knocking them boots, pal. Wear one great scent all day long. Get that Ultra Premium Collection hot off the shelves. Get 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MINDMeanie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code MINDMeanie at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle, thanks to Manscaped. And Meanie, as always, we have to thank our sponsors at Manscaped for keeping the lights on here at the show.
And making us and the Pod Squad look fantastic. Dude, I'm at that point in my life where I just cut fucking people off. I don't care anymore. I've had people in my life who, anytime I've been around them, I would have anxiety.
Yeah.
What's this person going to say to embarrass me? Or what's this?
Yeah, dude.
I had a so-called friend who was like, we're at a convention, and he was a good guy, but he would just do dumb fucking things. Don't do that.
Yeah.
What are you doing that for? And we're at a convention. I'm not even going to say his name, but he's like, hey, there's Tully Blanchard. Let's go up to him and say, hey, can you take a photo? And he'll think you'll want a photo with him, but then we'll hand him the camera and make him take a photo of us. I was like, please don't do that. That's Tully Blanchard. He knows who I am. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. Don't embarrass me in front of a legend. He goes, okay. 20 seconds later, Tully Blanchard walks near us. He goes, hey, Tully, can you take a photo? I grabbed the camera. I made him hold it and made him take a photo of me and Tully. I was like, you're not going to, why would, you said you were going to do something embarrassing. I asked you not to do something embarrassing, and you proceeded to try to do that embarrassing thing. Just.
What?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? And then something else happened. And then something else happened that wasn't really that big of a deal, but I had already had it up to here with that person.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I don't need, goodbye. Bye.
Like,
Block,
how
mute,
disrespectful, man.
block. Yeah.
Not just to Tully, but also to you as well, though, because it makes you look like
Right.
a fucking idiot. Like, why would you do something like that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah. So like, it's like, and then it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you think that's cool? You're not funny. And just like, I already have, dude, I'm already beating myself up over shit I did in third grade. I don't need you adding to that stuff. So, my anxiety and stuff like that. I have anxiety, just over simple shit, just, shit, I got to make a phone call.
Right.
Oh, God. Yeah, I have to work myself up to make a fucking phone call about, something. And I usually let it go. Can I text, can I text the electric company about an issue or,
Do I really need to
About
get
my
on the phone? Yeah, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to call anybody. I just want to fucking text now and be done with it.
Yeah. Can I just text them about my power outage,
It's weird, though. I've been going through very similar situations, like just trying to remove that excess noise from my life because I don't need it. Like it bogs me down.
Yeah.
It increases my anxiety. It increases my depression, and it makes me feel like I'm a terrible person. And
Right.
I can't tell.
Misery loves company.
What's that?
Misery loves company.
Yeah, I can't tell the story because I want to, but the person who I have
Right.
the story about is still in my life. And there was a thing that happened in Philadelphia. I'll tell you off air, but essentially, long story short, this person embarrassed me in a way that I haven't been embarrassed in probably since I was a kid. Humiliated.
Right.
And I remember just thinking to myself, like, and I'm just standing like I didn't know what to say, and I was just looked at him and I was like, why can't you just be normal? Like, why can't you just not? And I hate to say those kinds of things, but it's just like, why do you do the things that you do? And
Maybe we know the same person.
It's possible. When you told me that story, I was like, it sounds like somebody I might know. But I just like, I couldn't, like, it's just the thought process that goes into doing something like that. And, I've had some, and I've shared with you, offline, I've had some personal things going on in my life that have been kind of insane. But I need it for my mental health, man. I need it. And, I know we were talking about this. We were going to touch on the Chris Jericho thing too, about his, weight loss recently.
Right.
And I'm sure I saw all that stuff online. People, ragging on him and talking about how fat he got and this, that, and the other. And as a fat person myself, someone who's trying to lose my weight again, that's, that can be tough, man. That can be really difficult to hear and see those things all the time about your body and looking a certain way. And, oh my God, look at how big he is. Like, that's a lot to take in. And I can't imagine what that must have done to him mentally,
Dude, I've been there. My whole life I've been heavy set. That's a kind of way to put it. Heavy set, fat, whatever. And then I get into wrestling. I get into decent shape, but I'm still kind of fat. And then I get to WWE. And my look worked to my benefit in ECW because, it's part of my character. But you go to WWE where, they're used to a certain mold, so to speak. They drop hints to lose weight. I lost 160 pounds.
Wow.
A lot of people in my life were like, WWE want me to lose weight for my health, which is a good thing. People in my real life want me to lose weight for a good thing, for my health, which is a good thing. But then I lose the weight, and I never get to show it off in WWE because I got released. But then the people in my real life were like, "Oh man, you don't look right. You don't look like Brian. You look too. Do you have cancer? What are you sick? People ask me if I had cancer. People ask me if I had AIDS. Just because I got so skinny. And I'm not being funny. People ask those questions. And, I was like, fuck you people. My whole life, you motherfuckers made fun of me for being fat. Now you motherfuckers are making fun of me for being skinny. I can't satisfy anybody, so I just got to worry about me satisfying me and just, block out the fucking noise,
I can't believe people asked you those questions like that.
So, deadpan. They would just ask those, what are you sick? How come you're so skinny?
Why? What goes through somebody's head to ask somebody? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Especially somebody, again, like I said, we've shared this, I struggle with my own mental health issues. Like,
yeah.
What would make you say something like that to someone? Here you are doing something to effectively better yourself. And this what do you got, cancer? Like, what are you, fucking dense? Like, how stupid can you be? I'm sorry somebody said that to you, man. That's really fucked up.
Oh, it just makes me want to be antisocial. I went from being 390 down to 240, and I still had even the guy who I was seeing, my dietitian, was like, you could probably still use to lose another 20 pounds. I'm like, man, I don't know how much more I can lose.
Right, before I become like a stick figure, yeah.
Do you want me to lose this weight, or are you trying to sell me more product? And Jerry Briscoe brought this dude up on his podcast with Tommy Dreamer the other day. I was going to the guy, Jerry Briscoe was going to the guy, Paul Bearer was going to the guy, a few people. A lot of people lost weight with him, but, in my case, people were just like, you don't look right. You look sick. Hey, what's wrong with you? And I was just like, motherfucker, I can't win.
Yeah.
I was too fat. Now I'm too fucking skinny. And then I gained the weight. I gained some weight back. People are like, Blue Meanie's fat again. Ha ha. People suck,
Yeah. I don't like anybody talking to me like that. Because I know, again, I lost a bunch of weight in 2016. I think I lost 65, 66 pounds. And then the pandemic really fucked me up, and I put some of the weight back on, and I had somebody say to me to my face that I hadn't seen in probably 3 years. Look, what'd you find all that pandemic weight back, buddy? I lost weight during the pandemic. What the fuck happened to you? Like, legit said that to me. I was like, if I weren't surrounded by family, I'd fucking knock your teeth down your throat. Like, yeah. I would, and I don't do tough guy shit, man. That's not my thing. But I was just like,
right.
If we weren't surrounded, if my children weren't here, I would fucking break your jaw for saying something like that to me. Like, I just
level them.
Like, why would you, like, what would make you think that was okay, that I would laugh at that?
Yeah, I had a relative I just ghosted, like, to their face. Like, I was, like, out in the wild, and this relative came up to me and said, oh, my God, you got fat. I looked at that person in the face, walked away, and never saw that person again. Yeah. Until I went to their funeral. I was like, your family. And the funny thing, it was like in a store, I was by myself looking through wrestling magazines. And this relative comes up to me, says it to me, and then people within earshot heard it and laughed. So I looked at the person, people laughing. I looked at my relative, said not one word, and walked away. And next time I saw that person, they were in a coffin. So,
I would prefer everyone to just like mind. And there's a guy on Twitter that I follow who shares a bunch of stuff about people working out, people filming other people working out to make fun of them. And he's just like, mind your own business. Like, this guy's doing this exercise and this person's doing that one. But like, this is the reason why people don't want to go, is because you're body shaming them and you're mocking them for starting. Like, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Brock Lesnar didn't look like that overnight. He had to start with an easy exercise like these people are doing. Do you think this guy did the exercises right when he started? Like, I have no time or tolerance for that. And I hope that people leave Chris Jericho the fuck alone about his body. There's enough to like, if you want to be upset with Chris Jericho about something that he said or something that he's done, like that's fine. You may not have to agree with everything the guy says, but like leave him the fuck alone about his body. You know, like leave him the fuck alone.
Chris Jericho is a good human. You know, he's always looked out for the little guy in the business. He's always looked at elevating other people. And, you know, he's helped me a ton, whether it was in ECW and doing a spot to, you know, include me. And he wrestled Stevie in a couple matches in ECW. And he went out of his way to include me to do stuff to get like a little bit of like, whether it's me popping up an apron, him hit me with a drop kick, and I just bump to the floor to pop the crowd. He included me, you know. And then WWE, you know, we reconnected and talk about metal and all that good stuff and this life shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, post WWE or whatever, we catch up. We just talk about music. But like in general, he's just a good human being. He's always been there to try to help younger talent, establish younger talent, give people the rub. And I don't get the hate, you know. I can see, you know, maybe if, what's that term? Familiarity breeds contempt. You know, he's been there and successful for so long. Maybe that's what sets in people's mind, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned.
100%.
You know, Chris Jericho.
And
yeah.
I want to be clear too. I hope I didn't come off in any way. I've never heard anything but positive things about Chris Jericho. I've been a Chris Jericho fan for as long from the WCW days. I really enjoy his work. I think he looks like he would be definitely someone I would love to talk to in my life at some point. I don't have any issue with him. I think the biggest thing is like, you know, I could see how some people may, you know, have issues with some of the things that he said in his career or some moves that he's made or whatever it is, but that's on them. Like that's not anything I've ever heard of the guy, right? But I think my larger point is
that's just people being mad. That's people being mad about their own fantasy booking, you know?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, oh, well, why did Chris, you know, what's this that was said? He shouldn't have gone to AEW. Like, you know, you could have those conversations all day if you want to and spin inside your echo chamber. But, you know, I don't like people attacking other people. Like the same thing with Keith Lee, like people ragging on Keith Lee about how he looks or the Blue Meanie. Like, just like leave people the fuck alone. Like, mind your own goddamn business. Meanie, I'm so sorry that this conversation has become so heavy. Let's lighten it up with a nice fart, shall we?
Yeah, woohoo!
Let's lighten it up a little bit here. No, I mean, but it's important. It's important to talk about these things because mental health is real. And mental struggles, people go through these. Brock Lesnar just said it recently. He struggles with anxiety in front of people. Like, right. He's a human being too.
And that's a man who could literally rip somebody from limb to limb. You know.
Yeah.
Now, if he's human enough, imagine somebody who might look like they could use some help. You know.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar doesn't look like he looks like he could survive well on his own. But for him to open up to Pat McAfee about that stuff. And shout out to Pat McAfee. I love
for real, dude.
Between the Brock interview and the Vince interview, it's fucking amazing. But yeah, you know, and I gotta say, I kind of have to stick up for Chris because I see it, and it reminds me of my own, people saying shit about me, and I don't like that, And I like Chris. Chris has always been nothing but awesome to me, and he's helped me out, recently with something, and I had a not to bring it down, but I had a friend who passed away recently, and I was trying to help share, information about like a GoFundMe, and Chris was like the first person to like retweet me. I was like, holy shit,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that man's got a good heart, and he's got a great mind for the business. And he's the prototype of the career to have.
Yeah.
He's got he's a wrestler. He's an author. He's a musician. He's an actor. He does a podcast. It's amazing. He has, the only problem Chris Jericho has is there aren't enough hours in the day. So
Yep.
I just got to say, publicly, give my roses to Chris Jericho because I love the guy, and not to mention that, he's an excellent. His band's awesome. He's awesome. And I can't think of enough more positive words to say about him other than he's awesome. I love him.
Meanie, would you like to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions at Mind of the Meanie using the hashtag AskMeanie, and we will read your questions on the program.
But first, I need a drink.
Yes.
I don't know if this is considered seltzer, but I'm a big Pat McAfee mark, and he's been drinking this one there. Liquid Death.
Ooh.
Sparkling water.
Love it, man.
This looks like beer. It looks like beer, but...
When I first saw it, I was like, is it an energy drink? What is it? I left mine, unfortunately, in the car. I have a Purple Haze Bang Energy, so I'll have to have you crack it for us here, pal.
So, Liquid Death, sparkling water, straight from the Alps. Wink. Oh, it doesn't say wink, but it says murder your thirst. But the can, that looks like straight up death metal.
Seriously, holy shit, man.
I paused there. So, let me crack this open.
You got
it. 3, 2, 1.
Delicious.
Yeah,
those sounds are so nice. Love to crack those cans open. Don't forget Pod Squad. We have to acknowledge the Pod Squad every single week, joining us all the time in our group, keeping the lights on here at the Casa de Meanie. We appreciate you so much. Don't forget, go to patreon.com/mindofthemeanie right now and sign up and become our patron on Patreon. Become a part of the Pod Squad and get to see this show live as we do it, and hopefully ad-free.
Good to see Shackleford. Good to see Vanessa Bellaford. Good to see Vanessa Bello, who is always great with the ad reads. Very creative.
That's right.
And little Jimmy from Nebraska, James Sorensen. Sorensen Level.
Hashtag Sorensen Level is here. Let's start with.
I'm scrolling. Are we missing anybody?
I don't know. I don't think. I don't see. I don't know if Schlichter's joining us today.
Okay.
Just we got a couple.
He's here in spirit.
We're going to start with a question from Twitter, and then we'll jump in to Shackleford's question, because I know I definitely have to ask you that one, because I've had to consult some folks as well on this. Parkdale Ave Productions asks, hey, Meanie, what would your perfect meal include? Homemade restaurant, fast food, etc. Something tells me that you enjoy salad.
Again with the fat jokes. Jesus
I know,
Christ.
right? Jesus, guys. I didn't pre-read that question.
No. That...
Should have pre-read that. Should have pre-read that.
Stop. It's funny because it reminds me of, I was just talking to my buddies we were talking about The Sopranos, and there's a scene where I forget which character was walking up to Tony, and Tony looks at him and goes, I think you should seriously consider eating salads.
Oh, jeez.
So I say though, yeah, it's fine. Perfect meal. If Mrs. Meanie's cooking it, I have my birthday meal, like that she makes on my birthday, which is a steak, a sweet potato with asparagus.
Nice.
Yeah, that's, and she every couple years, like when I was a kid, I had a birthday meal my sister made for me, which was her lasagna, which I loved. But now, with Tracy, Mrs. Meanie, she makes like really good, she's a really good cook anyway. She makes me a steak with fried onions, a sweet potato, and asparagus. If I'm out and about, which is usually at the Oregon Niner, which I just had lunch there yesterday for something I can't talk about yet. I had a cheesesteak omelet with fried onions and peppers in the omelet and the home fries. And I always request that the home fries are cooked well, because if they don't, they give you these soft potatoes. I like them to have a little bit of crisp. So I have peppers and onions in the home fries and the cheesesteak omelet.
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
But I do love salads. The guy brought up salads, so let's say a grilled chicken salad with oil and vinegar. Whatever that balsamic, whatever vinegar or whatever that's called.
Meaning you said
those
balls,
words. Yeah, we'll get to that in the ad read.
Shackelford had a question for us that he messaged me, and I wanted to make sure we asked this because I thought this was very important. I consulted some friends in Philadelphia to get context and clarity. I've been having an argument with my coworker. Here's my question: is Kensington in North Philadelphia?
Oh, that's a good question.
It is. I was like, fuck yes, I'm going to ask that question because I want to talk about it.
Not too many. You want to talk about Kensington, but you never want to talk about going there.
Right, right.
I don't know if that's is that North Philly or is that Northern Liberties?
So it borders Northern Liberties and it borders Fishtown. Like I think if you go a little bit more north, you're in Kensington. Yeah. I'd have to look at the map.
It's like the country nobody really talks about. Kensington's that's the part of Philly you don't want to go to. You don't even drive through it.
No, just yeah.
Yeah, it's been bad since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad when I was a kid, but it got bad, and it is bad. But
it's progressively gotten worse, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the largest open. It's the largest open air drug market in the world.
Yeah.
Kensington.
Yeah. Where the roofs always leak and the girls have 3 teeth.
Oh man. Oh man. I will say, after some consultation with some friends, including friend of the show Asher Roth, I would say with certainty that Kensington is in North Philadelphia.
I couldn't argue. And I'm sure people, listening in Scotland are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What the hell? Who cares? Talk about wrestling. Talk about the Blue World Order. Shut this fucking guy up. No.
Belts and dates, pal.
So I remember going to Kensington in high school. I used to go with my cousin Tony. We used to drive. He had this little shitty fucking Mazda. Hey, my cousin Tony. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Go down here. We used to go to a place called Kim's, and it was a barbershop that was in the middle of Kensington. And we would go, I would get a $5 fade at Kim's, and they did the best fucking haircuts ever, but it was terrifying to leave that car right on the side of the L right there, because you're under the L the whole way, and
yeah.
I think it's Kensington. I think it's Kensington Avenue in Huntington, if I remember correctly. It's down there. It's probably I don't even know if it's still there, but
you don't want to go to
haircut place.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught at K&A, Kensington and Allegheny. That's like the worst intersection in all of Philadelphia.
Yes.
Good old K&A. When I was a kid, I think I had family lived up in the area. It wasn't that bad. But, yeah, man, holy shit. But that's when, back in 82 when I was like 8, or 7 or 8. But, yeah, it's probably, if you told me it was in North Philly, I wouldn't argue.
Yeah, so hopefully, Shackelford, I hope that answers your question. I hope you won that bet, that question. Let's see what else is going on here on Twitter. Mark and Dryden wants to know, hey, Meanie, what are your thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on the rumor that Cody is going to be a part of Ring of Honor instead of WWE?
That would be funny. But I think you would just seriously burn a fan base if that happens to be the case. Where, talk about a bad promotional tactic.
Yeah.
Burning, because then, if that happens and Cody comes back to Ring of Honor, which is technically AEW, the trust level with the fan base goes down when you tell them something is legit. They go, oh, is it legit, or is it going to be another one of these bait and switch things? So
very finger poke of doom.
Yeah, just very gobbledygookerish. Just what's in the egg?
Gooker.
Yeah.
Yikes.
What's in the egg? But no. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration or a stretch. But it's bad that where you do this whole thing where Cody's gone. Every news reporter is like talking about it. Spent their vital programming hours talking about Cody being gone. You post 2 separate press releases from Cody and from Tony. Just to show back up in Ring of Honor, it's just like, if I'm a fan, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Right.
So nothing.
Right.
So, that's the thing about ECW is we always told the fans the truth. The infamous line that Tommy Dreamer says in Rise and Fall is, he lied to the wrestlers, but he always was honest with the fans. You always want to keep that honesty with the fans, and if you say, oh, yeah, he's gone from AEW, but here he is at Ring of Honor, people are like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just another promoter lying to the fans, So you kind of don't want to burn it. Cody kind of has to go somewhere else now to keep up the trust level with the fans. If you're going to, if you want to have that shoot relationship where, there's things you kayfabe and there's some things you got to shoot with, and this seat feels like there's something they had to shoot with.
Right.
And they're feeding people saying, well, it came down to the last second and they couldn't agree with it. It was through the lawyers and all this stuff, which feels like you're shooting with people just to turn it into work. That's bad faith, I think.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the fans, and you might lose some of the key demo.
I'm losing the key demo.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Our final question for the day. I can't wait for Carl to hear that. I don't know if he's ever heard that one, but Carl's gonna be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck was that?"
He sounds like Otto the bus driver the way he do his voice.
The way I did his voice just now, he's gonna be hearing it. He's like, "I don't talk like that. That's not how I sound." Sorry, Carl. The last question of the day. Friend of the show, Ringside Rant, wants to know.
He edits the show in a Walkman.
Friend of the show, Ringside Rant, wants to know, would you rather fight 100 small Al Snows or one giant Josh Chernoff?
Giant Josh Chernoff. Because Al knows how to. Al's a shooter, so
Right.
There's many a time we would be training at in Lima at a school, and a couple times I tried to just randomly attack him and take him down just to see if I could, and it never ended well. So I can imagine 100 small of the, ripping these fingers out of these sockets while tearing my toes, ripping my knees out. 100 Al Snows, fighting 100 Al Snows would be a fucking nightmare. That's a fever dream where you just wake up going, no way. Because all your limbs are detached from your body.
Oh, little Jimmy's got one question too. Go ahead, finish that thought.
Oh, please. No. Just I know what Al can do. And 100 of them, tiny ones, that's fucking frightening.
Little Jimmy from Nebraska wants to know, when Paul Heyman does in fact go into the Hall of Fame, who do you think should induct him?
Wow. That's an excellent question. I always say Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette are like the yin and yangs.
Goddamn.
Goddamn.
Oh, what the fuck?
Fucking cheeseburger, extra onions. But seriously, I don't know if I want to say Jim Cornette, and I know that'll never happen, but they pretty much had the same career. Both started off as photographers in their homegrown organizations. Both became two of the best managers ever in wrestling, two of the best talkers ever in wrestling, next to Bobby Heenan. And then, both ran promotions. Both worked WWE, both worked in creative. They're the same person. Even though, they've butted heads. But who I would have put Paul into the WWE Hall of Fame, which is an excellent question, by the way, a very hard question. I would have to say Tommy Dreamer, right? It would have to be Tommy Dreamer because I'm just going by EC. I'm sure Paul would have, maybe Brock put him in, but
Right.
I would say Dreamer just because they were attached to the hip. They were in the studio with each other all the time, editing TVs and stuff like that. And I know Tommy, had ill will towards him at the end, but eventually he understood where Paul was coming from. And then Dreamer became a promoter with House of Hardcore, and he learned a lot underneath that Paul Heyman tree, the ECW tree, that a lot of those House of Hardcore shows felt like an ECW show.
Right.
But as far as putting him in the Hall of Fame, I could definitely see Tommy Dreamer doing it. It would either have to be Tommy or Brock.
I would think Brock. Either one of those would work.
Yeah, it depends on if Brock would want to do it because, we just heard on the Pat McAfee show. He's got that anxiety about, where, if he does something in front of a crowd, he needs a couple days just to decompress. Which I get. I totally get. So, yeah. It would have to be those two.
Well, Meanie, thank you as always for your time and your patience while we get through the questions and my ramblings. But I'd like to ask you,
it's all good.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, follow me on all social media platforms at Blue Meanie BWO, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which I have no clue how to use. If you want to, support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use promo code Meanie, save 10%. If you want to support the kiddies, go to madcatbeardcare.com. They're doing some great things over there, Josh, over there, Mad Cat Beard Care. We might have a few cool extra things coming out to do with madcatbeardcare.com. So go over there and get yourself some blue spruce. Make your beard nice, smell nice and good. If you don't have a beard and you have a friend who does, it's a perfect Christmas gift. So go to madcatbeardcare.com, get yourself some blue spruce. If you want to get a video message from the Blue Meanie, go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. I could do happy birthday, Merry Christmas, happy divorce, whatever you want to do. I'll try to make it fun. Go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. And Mr. Barnard, where can we find you?
Well, thank you, Mr. Meanie. I appreciate you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at thisisgoober. Yes, that is my handle. Yes, that's where you can find me. No, I'm not changing it. You can also check out my side project, Foundation Radio. You can go to foundationradio.net and check it out. We just recently, speaking of the Finger Poke of Doom, we made the executive voice Sam Kreps listen to or watch the Finger Poke of Doom. I have to say it's probably our best episode to date. With Sam Watches Bad Wrestling Poorly. So go ahead and check that out, as well as all the other conversations I've had there online. Again, it's foundationradio.net. You can follow me at thisisgoober. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. Sign up today to become our patron on Patreon. Manscaped.com. Get your promo code MindMeanie and you'll get 20% off plus free shipping. Meanie, it is always a pleasure to sit with you and record our amazing program for the Blue Meanie. I'm Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie was recorded and produced by Adam Barnard and was engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional production and narration provided by Sam Kreps. Our executive producers are Josh Chernoff, Adam Barnard, and the Blue Meanie. Our opening theme is performed by the Swamp Candles. Our closing theme is performed by Chikara. The show contains original music produced by Enrichment. Get additional bonus content by becoming our patron on Patreon at patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at mindofthemeanie. This has been a Butts Carlton media production in conjunction with the MLW Radio Network. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
Dad, why is Blue Meanie's brain out?
The world of MLW Radio never stops.